Today we're going to discuss becoming aware that you always have choices. Most importantly, it's okay to say no. Take the first step. That's the only way you're going to move. Do you ever find yourself doing things that you really don't want to do? More specifically, do you find yourself doing things that are out of alignment with who you truly are? We discussed this a little bit in a previous episode where we talked about overcommitting. But today we want to get into this more deeply into why. Do you actually agree to do things that put you in turmoil, that aren't aligned with who you desire to be? You know, all of us have had situations happen in our lives where we go against our own gut feelings. We do it because we feel we have to. And what I've found in conversations with people asking them, well, why did you do this, is that most people feel they don't have any choice. I'm here to tell you that in every situation, you always have options. You always have choices. Now, you have to be accountable for those choices that you make, but you always have an option. Now, people will tell me, look, it's my job. I have to do it because if I don't do it, then I won't have my job. I'm sorry, you have a choice. You can get another job. Now, I'm not telling you that you walk away from the job you have immediately, but you can have the choice to go, you know what, this is not in alignment with who I am. So I need to go out and I need to start looking for another job. People can come up with all excuses of why they don't want to do that, but what it really comes down to, well, in a few minutes we're going to ask you what it comes down to. Why are you fighting that idea? Share a personal story of mine. I was working at a club in Pennsylvania. I was DJing and making very good money, doing what I was doing, enjoying what I was doing. And there was one night where one of the female employees got wasted. I mean, she was so intoxicated she could barely walk. And I was trying to stop her from leaving the club, from leaving the door. And the owner called me away, and against my own better judgment, I stepped away to see what he wanted. And while I stepped away, she slipped out the door, got in her car, and left. And when I went back and found out she left, I went to the owner. I said, do you realize that she was totally intoxicated? And he was very flippant about it. Yeah, she does that all the time. In that moment, I had a choice. I had the choice of going, okay, she does it all the time. Or I had the choice of saying, this is not a place that I want to work for. If the person who's running this place does not respect their own employees' lives enough to make sure that she does not get in the car while she's intoxicated, I need to make the choice to leave, which is what I did. Now, I'm also not going to say that I quit that night and left. What I did do was I put the wheels in motion to find another position to go to because I was not willing to live out of alignment with myself. So I want to ask you, what are some areas in your life where you're noticing that it's a habit that you're saying yes when you really want to say no? It could be at your job. It could be with a friend. Maybe a friend is asking you to lie to cover up their track for things. Maybe they're having an affair. Maybe they're stealing and they're asking you to lie for them. And you're the type of person that normally wouldn't even lie to cover your own butt, but you are lying for them. Now here's the big question. Why? Think about this for a moment. You know when you're out of alignment with yourself. Your gut tenses up. Everything in you tenses up. Think right now of situations in your life where you've been doing things, where you've been saying yes, when really the best thing for you would have been to say no. And think about one of those moments right now. Write it down. And then ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it fear? Is it some issue with authority? I mean, ask yourself why. And you may not even know at the moment. But I want you to become aware that you have a choice. People fight with me this all the time. No, I don't. Yes, you always have a choice. Yes, no, and there's got to be another option. So this coming week, when you run into one of those situations, and it could be a big situation like your job, But let's start off small. Let's talk about some other situation where you may be committing to something or saying yes when you really are not aligned with it. And stop yourself in that moment this week, because you've already written down knowing that this situation comes up. Stop yourself in that moment and ask yourself, why am I getting ready to go against my own spirit and say yes to something that just isn't right for me? And again, I encourage you to say no, but a baby step could even be saying, you know what, I'm not really ready to commit to that right now. Let's talk about it and I'll get back to you later. That could even be a stretch. But the idea of this is recognizing you always have a choice. I look forward to seeing how this episode plays into your life, the results you get. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care.